Whoops. Pretty sure the car wasn't meant to go here. Hello everyone, I'm CrypticFox, and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. We're working on something a little bit different today. I downloaded another mod and then went on a little bit of a hunt in the Junkyard for it. But this mod is by deadbob777. You can find his mods on the modding forum on Steam for this particular game. And this is a NASCAR rebuild. So this one here that I've grabbed is the NASCAR Chevy SS. There are two other NASCAR builds that the Deadbob made in this same mod. So there's also the Ford Fusion and the Toyota Camry. But these cars aren't supposed to be found in the Junkyard. I made a little tweak to the file because I kind of felt like rebuilding it rather than just trying to buy one at the auction for the sake of driving it around. So I tweaked the file so this would show up in the Junkyard, and we have this just pretty much totally wrecked NASCAR here. Now, I'm not entirely sure how this rebuild's going to go because, this is the first NASCAR that I've worked on. It doesn't even have working doors because they climb in through the window, which is pretty cool. But we'll send this over the lift and try tearing this all apart and see what we can do with it. I did also get myself up to level 35 finally. It took me forever because I kind of been toying around with rebuilds instead of actually doing missions and stuff. But I sort of powered through a bunch of missions over the last little while and got up to level 35, so we finally have the ability to do like full repairs of everything, including body parts. So hopefully the pieces that are in this mod will work in terms of like repairing and stuff also. Now, these tires I don't think you can order. Well, they're actually slick tire B. So we'll have to see whether we can order the tires. I'm not sure whether we'll be able to or not. Mods are kind of a little bit funky that way sometimes. Starter's already off this thing, so I don't have to rip that out. Let's just get this up on the lift. See what it's like. I don't think there's even any body parts to take off of this thing. It just says body. Oh, we got the trunk. Oh, we can take the trunk off. There we go. Oh, check that out. Alright, so I'm pretty sure with the other... Oh, there's the batteries. There's a couple of them back here. With the other cars that you can work on, when you get to the fuel tank and stuff, it's pretty much just the standard tank with a fuel filter. Oh, they have that too. He's basically skinned it above it to make it look like the actual fuel inputs and stuff. That's pretty cool. Alright, but we're going to have to get this up on the lift so we can work on it. In the meantime, I'll stick one of the batteries on over here. And then we can deal with the other one afterwards. Curious to see how much we actually have to rip off of this car in order to take it all apart. It looks like they have the air filter here set up as just like part of the front end of the vehicle. I'm not sure how that works. Oh, I can take it off. All right, I have no idea how that's going to work, but we'll see. Again, this car I don't think is intended to be done as a rebuild quite this way. Because it was originally set up to not be able to be found in the Junkyard, although you could find it in barns and stuff, or in the auction house. But since I don't really have access to too many barns anymore, unless I find like there's these maps you can get in the game now that will reveal other barns that you can go to. I didn't really want to leave it in there because I'd have basically no chance to find this thing. It's pretty cool. So it's funny. I added in the mod for the Ferrari a while ago, the Ferrari Bertolina. And I have yet to find the thing in the Junkyard. Cannot get it at all. So I'm not sure what the deal is, whether I need to tweak something to make that show up or what the case might be, but it would have been nice to kind of work through that as well. This particular car, I even had to go and do a couple of other rebuilds in order to make enough cash to be able to buy it in the Junkyard, because I think this thing was $140,000. No, its car value is $109,000, but it was $140,000 to buy this thing, even in its wrecked condition, in the Junkyard, which is a little bit crazy. And I'd been spending so much money on rebuilds and things, I just didn't have it around. So I rebuilt a couple of the Alenti Calopes, and that got me a few $100,000, which was good. Then we spent a whole bunch to buy this thing. We still have $200,000. But it's nice to know that there are some cars that we can rebuild that give you some cash quick. Because the Alenti Calope was, when I rebuilt those, I got anywhere between like $120,000 and $150,000 for it. It's sort of dependent on the mileage the vehicle has, but I'm curious to see, like, on these, on some of these mods, I wonder if they've actually, like, reduced the number of vehicle parts and stuff that you have that you can take off and These are all standard pieces, but some of the body itself is pretty custom. And without being able to put doors on it, I wonder if we can still get in and out of the vehicle the way we normally would, too. There we go. Get the shock off here. We've almost got the front end of this thing ripped apart already. Well, of course, have to get the gearbox and everything off of it so we can haul the engine out, because you can't pull it out until we do that. I should probably check and see whether there's an oil pan on this thing, because there's been a few times that I've hauled the engine out of a car, completely forgetting about draining out the oil, and it did have an oil pan on, and there was still oil in it, so you end up paying like a penalty for oil spilling or whatever. Get rid of that. Oh, look at that, the steering wheel goes right through the block on this vehicle. Bit of an odd setup there, but again, you know, with the mod, they're kind of working with a lot of the settings and stuff that are kind of already in the game for vehicle position, piece positions, and where the engine sits. Like that. Look at that. The drive shaft doesn't even connect up to the actual axle at the rear end, but that's okay. Gearbox. Oh man, this thing's. I can't zoom in on the gearbox. That's weird. Oh, there we go. Wouldn't let it zoom in until I was actually trying to take the piece off. Too wacky. I'm curious to see how many parts are actually missing from the engine in this, because it doesn't look like it's all that complete, but it's hard to tell. Again, you know, the whole mod thing, I don't know what parts were originally planned to be on this thing. Okay, get that out of there. We'll get the shocks out of here. Now, the only unfortunate thing is once we rebuild this, there isn't really a good place to drive it. I mean, we can take it on the quote-unquote racetrack, but it's not... The track's not really intended for NASCAR. I don't know that there's any place we can really get this thing up to speed on there. We could try driving it around the airport, but again, not a lot there. It'd be nice if they had like an oval track or something you could race on. Instead of just the generic super windy racetrack. The windy track they have is almost like a Formula 1 track. Why can't I get this out of there? There we go. With all the bends and stuff to it. But it'd be nice to have just like a standard oval. Something with banked corners and stuff too. That'd be cool. Maybe they'll add it at some point in the future. Especially since they're putting in like some... they're supposed to be putting in some things for like performance tweaking. So if you soup up a car or whatever, and then you can't drive it fast anyway because you're just driving on that little windy course. I don't know that necessarily makes a ton of sense. Okay, almost got this apart. I am super curious to see whether I can get this rubber in here. I mean, obviously you can't repair it, but it's nice that now that I'm finally at level 35, I should be able to repair the body parts of the vehicle. At one point when I was leveling up, I actually had access to that, but I guess it was just a bug. You weren't supposed to get it until you were at level 35. So for a little bit, I was able to repair body parts of the cars and stuff, but that kind of went away. And there's a mod you can get now that will let you fix even the pieces you normally couldn't fix. So things like bushings, brake pads, all that kind of stuff. I'm probably not going to bother with that particular mod. It feels a little bit like cheating to me. Whereas I kind of like the idea of using the mods instead to just add in vehicles and stuff that I wouldn't normally be able to do. Okay, so that's all ripped apart. We just got to get the engine out of this thing now. We'll put that on the engine stand over there, and we'll get it all ripped apart. And that'll give us an idea of what we can rebuild on this thing. Actually, we'll go repair all the pieces and stuff. No, I don't want to do that. I want to charge the battery that's not charged. There we go. Might as well send this over to the car because we can fix the body now while we're at it. We'll clean up the interior too so we can have that all taken care of. What an ugly, ugly machine right now. This is a 2017 model too, so you wouldn't find one this rusted sitting in a junkyard. If anything, if it was in a junkyard, it would be because it got totaled, not because it was just old. So, I mean, this rebuild's a little bit different in a few different ways that way. So, like, this is a car that shouldn't be in there, but I sort of tweaked it so that it would show up, and then I could do a whole bunch of work on it. But let's fix the body on this while we're over here. $1,000 to fix our NASCAR. Look at that. Looking all shiny now. Might as well detail the inside of it also, and then we can get rid of both of these items. Get that out of here. Alright. It's looking a lot prettier now already. I like the details in the back with the whole fuel system and what have you. That's pretty cool. Very, very cool. I like that. Okay, so we'll put our engine on the stand here and see what we can do to clean this thing up. So I guess for now is really just rip it all apart. I'll be curious to see actually which parts we need to put back in this thing and which we don't. So, oh, it's upside down. Why can't I yank that out of there? Oh, because, okay, so this actually went in upside down on the stand, which is weird. Don't know why it would do that. So we'll flip this over. I think we have to... No, come on. There we go. I think we have to rip all the top pieces off of this before we can actually take the pistons out. Which doesn't make a ton of sense because they're already, like, perfectly visible right there, but what are you going to do? Get the manifold off. Oh, got one little push rod hanging out there. So get rid of the head. Nice. 2 push rods left in this one, and a rocker arm. So we'll get the rocker arm off first, I guess. Not a huge fan of having to do the push rods and rocker arms in this, just because it's a little tedious having to click on all the individual little spots. There's some new DLC that's supposed to be coming out soon, too, that's supposed to add in Jeeps and things to the game. So they've got, I think, 5 different Jeeps they're adding in, as well as there'll be like I think it's a 10-cylinder engine they're adding. Something like that. Kind of cool. I'm really curious to see when they're going to get the Steam Workshop up and running so that it's easier to access all these different mods and stuff they have. It's not that it's all that hard. You just have to know where to download the file to. But if you could just do it in the game without having to really muck around with all those separate things, that would be really handy. Oh, camshaft out of there. Okay, then we're down to the block. Done. Got it all. Let's go see what we can repair here. I think our repair chance now is up to 100%. Hopefully we can get a lot of this taken care of. Some of the body pieces, or mechanical pieces, if they're too damaged, you don't even get a chance to try to repair them. I'm repairing pieces that were sitting in my inventory that I just didn't get rid of before. Alright, good deal. Alright, so I've got a whole bunch of fixed up parts for cars that I'm not even working on in there now. I really got to deal with my inventory a little bit more. Let's get this back together. Nice, the block is in there. Crankshaft. Ooh, it didn't fix the crankshaft. I guess it was just too damaged already. V8 overhead valve. That's what we need there. We're going to need some crankshaft bearings and stuff too, some rod caps, so that's okay. Crankshaft. And it was the V8 overhead valve. So we're going to need probably 3 of the bearings. Might as well get those right now. We're going to need rod caps. We're going to need pistons because they're never really fixable. Grab 8 of these. They added a new type of piston now too. So we used to just have the piston with conrod, but now we have piston with conrod V8 overhead valve C. I'm not sure what the C stands for, but I would imagine this is just the V8. Or sorry, just the regular pistons. Oh, that's interesting. It's like a smaller profile on the piston. Alright, get this in. Plug all our pistons back in here. I'm curious to see how this sounds and how it drives, ultimately. This will be the first car I think I've tried that has slicks on it. Because I just haven't put them on any other car yet. Should be neat. Okay, all the pistons are in. We have all our piston caps and the crankshaft bearings in place. We're going to need an oil pan now, I guess. Might as well just go oil, and then we can get the oil filter at the same time. V8 overhead valve V is what we're going to need there. Oil pan. V8 overhead valve. There we go. I might as well get the fuel filter while we're in here. I'm not sure what else we're going to need yet. I don't recall seeing an alternator on this, but I don't know whether the engine... I mean, I guess so. Even a NASCAR must be built with an alternator. Although it does have 2 batteries in the back, so I'm not sure. Never pulled apart a NASCAR before. So yeah, there is an alternator and a power steering pump V8 for the pump. Really curious to see what the value of this car is once we're all finished. Because I mean, with a junkyard purchase price of like $140,000, it's got to be a pretty serious chunk of change. Ooh, the camshaft couldn't be fixed. We'll need this one here. 225. That's not so bad, I guess. Maybe it would be. Maybe I'd feel different about it if I was actually having to pay the money out. Okay, we'll get our. Oh, no, that's the ignition coil. Fuel filter's over here. There we go. Let's get this thing flipped over so we can start working on the other side of it. It's already looking nice and sparkly new. Okay. Did we fix the engine heads? Oh, I only fixed one of them. Well, that stinks. I thought my repair rate was up to 100% now, but maybe the other one was just so damaged I didn't even get a shot at it. Kind of cycled through everything as fast as I could, so I wasn't really paying attention entirely. Ignition distributor and an ignition coil we're going to need. There's our distributor. Grab our rotor. I'm not sure what we're going to need in terms of a cap just yet. Probably just the regular distributor cap. So I guess I'll grab that. And then distributor wires we'll probably need... Oh man, I don't know. It might be these V8 overhead valve D... But I think that's for... Is that D for diesel? I don't know. I know nothing. I've said it before. I'm definitely no pro when it comes to cars. Some pretty serious knowledge people have dropped in the comments in some of these videos, and yeah, it's well outside my my specialty. Cam gear's toast. So we'll need a cam gear. We'll also need a timing chain. See, cam gear, V8 overhead valve, and then timing chain. There it is there. We'll have to get the cover for it too, but I just get these in sequence, I guess. Come on. There we go. We'll need 8 spark plugs, a whole lot of push rods, and some rocker arms. Okay, I got those all buttoned up. If I have enough, so I bought enough push rods, spark plugs, and rocker arms for both sides of the engine here, but we'll have to get the engine head for the other side still before we can put any of those on. But I mean, on the plus side, it's basically just like a mirrored process over there anyway. Alright. This is probably the part I find the most tedious in putting these things back together. Putting on like 16 push rods and 16 rocker arms is just, I don't know. It's really repetitive. I like when I can get the ones that are all just sort of attached together and you can put them on at once. Okay, one more. We'll get our spark plugs in on this side, and then I will flip over into the other side of the engine, and we can carry on after that. Okay, that completes that side of the engine, aside from the covers and things, which I don't have any of. So we'll need engine head cover A and B. Where are we here? So, engine head V8 overhead valve A, and there's B. I guess I can see too now which distributor wires I'm going to need. What do we need? Ignition wire is just regular V8. Okay. Intake manifold, did I fix that? Ooh, I did. Nice. Save a small bit of work there. Carburetors, this thing, I don't think it... Did it even have any carburetors on it when I pulled this apart? I don't think it did. Okay, we got that. So we'll need 2 4-barrel carbs in here. So, and then we might as well grab the ignition wires while we're in here too. So just the regular V8 ones. I kind of suspected that's what the case would be, but rather than spend the money on them and be wrong, which I've done many, many, many times in doing rebuilds, I figure I might as well just double check. It only takes a moment. There we go. Okay, so it's calling for the air filter to be put on here, but there's kind of an odd system on this car where it just calls the front piece like the body, and it looked like the air filter was kind of built into it. So I don't know whether I'm actually supposed to put this on here or not. All right, look at that. I already had the ignition wires. It figures. Let's get down here and do the timing stuff first. So we'll do the timing cover, and then we'll go up and check out the air filters and see whether, if I put all that stuff on, will it even go to the, will the car go back together properly? So we'll do the timing cover. Where is it here? There we go. We're going to need a water pump and everything, too. And I would imagine it'll be the V8 overhead valve water pump, if there is a choice for that. Yeah, there is. And then the crankshaft pulley, and we'll need the water pump pulley as well. There's our crankshaft pulley. And then our water pump is this one here. And we'll need a water pump pulley. It's looking pretty sweet. It's kind of a shame you can't tune this thing yet. It's going to be a little weird to have this NASCAR that you can't even tune. Exhaust manifold, we'll need that for both sides. And then serpentine belts. Okay, I snagged those parts already. And we'll get these on. Is there going to be a fan on the front of this thing, I wonder? Yeah, there is. Okay. And I don't have the fan, naturally. But we can put on the manifolds, because I grabbed those. I think what I'm going to do is I'll put the air filter on this, and we'll see whether it fits, whether the engine fits in the compartment with it, or whether the part's just in the way. I'm kind of hoping they have this set up so that it won't call for the part if it's not needed in this particular mod. But I mean, we'll find out soon enough, I guess. So we need a radiator fan, and then we're going to look for the 2-carb air filter base. Yeah, grab the fan and all the stuff for the air filter really quickly. All right, let's see how this goes together. I mean, this would be the look for the standard engine, but maybe they'll just have it set up so you put all the air filter and stuff on here, and that body piece that I took off is just sort of an insert that goes over top of this. That might be the case. I think the engine's pretty much finished at this point, though, so it's looking pretty sharp. We'll grab that off of here. We can slop it back in the car and just see how this all goes back together now. We don't need this anymore. Nice. All right, it's looking pretty sharp in there. Oh, I like the little frame thing they put around the engine and everything too. Now it hits the fan, so there's some odd clipping and stuff because this isn't going to be a perfect fit, being a mod and all, but it looks really sharp, even though the fan goes through that like part of the framing in there. Let's see. What does it look like when I try to put the cover piece on here? Maybe it's considered a body part. Oh, it is. Okay, so the front end. Oh, Chevy SS NASCAR front end. Can we even buy these pieces? I don't even know. Now that I've ripped this thing all apart, I don't even know if I can buy the pieces that I can't deal with on it. Chevrolet SS. Oh, it looks like we can. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to grab this piece for now. I'm not sure what other body parts I actually managed to repair on this, but that's funny. It's got LED, like headlight choices, but oh, they actually are in there. Okay, so when the headlights were out, it looks like it's just sealed over, like there's not supposed to be any, but oh yeah. All right, so that fits in there just great. I want to go back to normal mode, though, because I'm not finished putting things back together here. Otherwise, brake servo, did we fix it? We did not. I think that might be it for the engine compartment now. Oh, the radiator. Probably want to deal with that. Nice, we fixed that up. That's good. Radiator fan housing I don't have. Let's see, radiator fan housing, and then we'll need the radiator fan housing fan. We'll get that taken care of. I'm curious to see whether we will be able to get the car up to 100%. I think the big hang-up might be the tires, because I don't think you can buy the tires for this particular mod. That looks pretty sweet. This is gonna look awesome when it's finished. Okay, so I'll get this listed. Oh, you know what? I have. Did I grab both the batteries or just one of them? We're about to find out. I think the other one's is still on. Yeah, it's still on the charger over there. Might as well deal with that now. Take that. Thank you. I'm glad I finally took the time to get this thing up to level 35, so I can actually fix body part pieces now instead of just buying them all the time. It should make rebuilds and stuff a little bit cheaper. I mean, not that they're necessarily still going to be cheap or anything, but at least I'm not going to have to pay for nearly as many body parts. Alright, the flywheel is pretty much never fixable, so we'll grab that. I mean, outside of using that mod. The clutch, I think I might have... Sometimes the clutch plate is fixable. I don't know whether it was in this case. We'll find out soon enough. Yep. Oh, I even had a spare one there anyway. The clutch pressure plate pretty much never gets fixed, though. So we're going to need that, and then also the clutch release bearing. I didn't notice whether we got a chance when we were doing the parts repairs to do the gearbox on this thing. So we might have to buy that also. Again, not too bad. We're up over $200,000 in cash again, so... I actually got, at one point I got all the way down to about $30,000 again, so it took a little bit of work. That was after I had bought the two Alenti Calopes that I was going to do the repairs on, with the intention to sell them. So it's not like I was in critical cash position at that point because I knew I was going to sort of rebuild those and sell them off, but it's definitely the lowest cash point that I've been at for a while in this game. Ooh, we didn't fix the drive axle. Okay. Cool. Spring rear drive axle. Pretty sure the fuel tank's never fixable either, so I'm probably going to have to buy that, but we'll just check. Yeah. Okay. Oh, man. I got extras of those. That's funny. Drive shaft. Of all things. The drive shaft. All right. Get this stuck on in its wonky position. That's a good solid connection right there. You should have no issues with power at all with that vehicle. Okay, that's done. Let's get up and do the... We'll do the suspension in the front end of this first, I guess. Then we'll go to the back. Crossmember B. Front suspension crossmember B. There we go. $480. Oh, I'm going to need bushings. I need bushings. Did we fix the steering rack? We can. Let's slide that right through the engine block because that's where that belongs. Just so weird. Let's see, rubber bushings. I'll get it. Maybe I don't know. Maybe a dozen of these. Not entirely sure how many I'm going to need. I can't see the bushing at the back here. Where is it? Come on. Stop messing with me. Let me see the bushing. There it is. Hidden right behind the exhaust manifold. I'll go up front. I can't go up front. There we go. If I don't put the bushings in now, almost guaranteed I'm going to forget them because I have a memory like a sieve. It's terrible. Terrible memory. Rubber bushing. There we go. Nice. All right, so the cross member is all set. Let's get... Well, actually, I guess I'm on this side of the car. I might as well deal with this side. Okay, good. We fixed the steering knuckle for both sides. What about the suspension arms? Yes. Very good. I like not having to buy parts. Not even necessarily because of the money, because, I mean, it's only fake money. It's just a game. It's where the hassle of going in and out of the store constantly that's kind of a nuisance. We got the cover for both sides. That's good. I don't think we can fix the sway bar. No. And we'll need the double wishbone shock absorbers as well. Okay, I stocked up on a few of the parts that I know for sure we're not going to have been able to repair. Ooh, I forgot to get the sway bar front end links. Oh, good. We fixed those. Either that or I just had those sitting in my inventory. Probably much more likely that. Tie rods I can pretty much never fix, so I went ahead and bought those. Wheel hub. Ooh, we got one of the two fixed. We'll have to fix the other one. We're going to need to deal, too, with some wheel bearings, which we can't fix. So I might as well just get all four of those. And then we'll need brake parts in here, too. I didn't notice whether I fixed all the calipers or not, but we'll grab up 4 of these. 2 of the ventilated, whoops. And 2 of the regular discs for the back. There we go. We'll need wheel hub caps for up here too, I guess. Two of these. Alright, good deal. We're ready for the wheel on this side. I'm going to go and do the other side. And then we'll need to get these shock absorbers ready too. Front end is mostly together now. I just need to put the shocks on here, and then obviously we'll need to deal with the wheels still, which I haven't done anything with. But when we get a chance to take a crack at those, we'll see if we can fix the rims, and then I know you can't fix the rubber. But it'll be a question of whether we can just buy new rubber, or if we're just going to have to put the old rubber back on. I seem to recall seeing somewhere there was a note about the mod that said you can't buy the rubber, but we'll see what happens. So we'll need rear shock absorbers for both sides of this because those are never fixable. Rear shocks, there we go. I think they were Bs. Yeah. Oh, I had an extra one in there already. Spring cap, can we fix that? Oh, I guess we did. The springs I don't think are fixable. They are not, so we'll grab 2 of those. Yeah, the caps might be fixable, so we'll see how that goes. No, it's not. That figures. Alright, rear shock absorber caps, we need 2 of those, 1 for each side. I'm actually kind of looking forward to taking this thing for a spin on the track. Ooh. Man, we only fixed like half of these parts. So when we get to the other side, I'm going to have to do a lot more buying, I think. Yeah, that's it for that. Alright, so if we go to leaf, I can grab spring plate. We're going to need 3 of these U-bolts. This has a bushing that has to go in. Oh, I ran out of bushings. Oh, I should have got more. So I need, I don't know, at least 2 more rubber bushings. Let's get 2 for now. Rear knuckle, did we fix? One side we did, one we did not. So when I get to the other side, I'll have to buy that one. Solid drive axle, again. One side fixed, one side not. Brake disc, I already bought that. Brake pads we already bought. What about calipers? Last caliper. Ooh, and actually the caliper cylinder's toast. So we're going to need 2 of those. And then when I get to the other side, I'll have to buy the actual caliper too. I mean, overall, with being level 35 now, I think I repaired more parts than I would have otherwise. So it's certainly saved us a lot of money in terms of that side of things. I'm going to put the other side of this together, and then we'll deal with the wheels. Alright, all the mechanical parts are finished on the car now. We're just at the point of having to work on the wheels. So we'll take these back and get them off the rims. And then we'll see if there's anything we can do here to fix those up. I mean, the rims, these other rims look like they might be in really rough shape, so I'm not sure whether we'll be able to deal with those. And then once we get these off here... Actually, I can check the rubber, I guess, too. What have we got on here rubber-wise? I might have to scroll through a lot of junk here. I have a lot of stuff just sitting in my inventory. 315 50-15s. I think are the tires. Slick tire B, 315 50-15. I don't know. I don't even know if we can buy those in the store. We're about to find out in a second here. There's the slick tire Bs. 15s with 350s. Will it go that high? No, it only goes to 285. Okay, so that's why I thought I'd heard that you couldn't buy the tires. So we're gonna have to put the old tires on it, unfortunately, which is less than ideal. But there's only so much we can do. Let's get the rest of this ripped apart, and then see if we can fix the rims. So we do actually have two different sizes of tires here. We have the 305s for the front and the 315s for the rear. Neither one of which I can get through the store because they caps out at 285. So that's a non-option there. It's gonna look a little, I don't know, it's gonna look a little less perfect because we won't have the really nice wheels on it. But I mean, on the plus side, the rims should be fine. And then we'll just have to make do with the rubber we have, I guess. Well, it's a shame we had to put old rubber back on the rims, but they are back together. Really kind of stinks. So, I mean, the rims are all in great shape, but the rubber, I mean, 12%, 36%, 12%, 37%. So the front tires... Where are those rear tires? Yeah, the rear tires are in good shape. The front tires, not so much. I suspect it's going to have some sort of an impact on the handling of the vehicle, but I'm not entirely sure. One would think that it would be a little more slippery, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. Not that we're not really racing these anyway. The best we can do is just drive it around a track, but it would be nice to have everything fixed up pristine on here, but this is just not going to be possible with this car. We do messed up my pattern. So we do have the vast majority of it at least. So the car should look, it will look really new, except just don't look too closely at the tires. Maybe we could buy some tire shine or something on here, some little armor all. Okay, the mechanical parts are all together. We got the wheels back on the car. It's technically drivable now, although I should probably put some oil in it before I forget, because again, remember, like a sieve and all. There's our oil cap. We'll grab that. If I don't put the oil in now, almost guaranteed I'm going to forget it later, so I guess it makes sense to do it at the moment. There we go. Alright, we need to get the body together on this thing now. So, I think I already had it filtered down to the body parts that we need. If we go to the body spot. Oh, you know what? Actually, since I repaired some of the body pieces, I should probably see what I can put back on this thing first. Hood. No hood. Headlights. No, you can't fix headlights. Man, okay, so... Did I fix the bumper? I think I had a shot at the... No. Trunk? Give me something here. Trunk? Alright, didn't fix anything. Here I thought I was going to save a little bit of money by... That's really cool. I thought I was going to save a little bit of money by doing the body repairs and stuff, but I didn't end up saving anything. Let's just go buy it all, I guess. Well, some of the parts in this are actually named something different than you would expect. So we have stuff like... Well, we have our headlights that'll go in place, but there are things like the fenders that... There weren't really any fenders that came off of this vehicle, so instead... There's something else that has to go in. I don't know what it is. Oh, I think it's the maybe the bars for the windows here? No, maybe not that. Front window. That's looking pretty sharp. I'll have to figure out what they are, because they're still named things like front fender and rear fender, but obviously it's not really going to be the case. Oh, you know what? I didn't take the left taillight out of this thing. There we go. Oh, and that includes the little cover thing that goes around the gas tank. That's cool. Body window. So now that I have the door on there, like the door window in there, how do I... Oh, okay, cool. So it says right front fender, but it's actually like the roll cage inside. So we put all that in, which is just weird. The left door fender is like the special seat in here. That's pretty sweet. I think I've got all the body together now. I'm not entirely sure because of the renamed parts and stuff make it a little bit tricky. It does look sharp though. Oh, look at the inside of this thing. That looks awesome. Okay, I'm going to send this over by the door so I can get a better look at it, because when it's on the lift, it's a little hard to check things out. I mean, not that there's any doors I can open this thing. If we go into the interior, front left seat. I can take that out. Steering wheel, I can take that out. I don't know if those are fixable, though. I wonder. Go take a peek and see. Nope, can't fix those. Alright, so we're going to need... I might have to put the same seat back in. Oh, and this is the wrong part. I need the interiors. There we go. Because I don't think there's a seat that looks quite like this one that I just pulled out. And maybe the one that I just pulled out isn't damaged. That would be good. Oh, there it is. Seat Typhoon might be the one that it used. Let's go with steering wheel, though. What steering wheel option did it use? It might have been this one, steering wheel 7. Kind of looks like it. Or this one here, steering wheel Bandit, maybe. Let's see what happens if we put this back there. So front left seat. It is the seat Typhoon. Okay, so I could buy that. And then the steering wheel was steering wheel 7. Oh, it was right the first time. And I actually grabbed steering wheel Bandit. I kind of like the look of that. That's fine. Same idea. So we need seat Typhoon. It's nice that I can put it together like through the window with the covering still on. Nice. All right, so I think mechanically and everything, and the interior is all done. I think the only thing we have left to do is like paint job and livery. Now the global body condition is never gonna get perfect because those 4 tires are in rough shape. What am I missing here? I feel like there might be something else though. Because we're not quite... Oh, look at the car value. $826,680. That's ridiculous. Radiator fan housing, clips. Ooh, I'm missing clips. Oh, you know what? It's the... that's always the clips on the distributor. Always. I think I've forgotten those almost every single time. Need 2 clip Bs for that. There we go. I can get an angle to see it. There we go. There's one. And there's the other one. Okay, so what does that leave now? Global parts condition 98%. Global body condition 86%. It's funny that it's saying the body's only 86%, but I guess that's the wheels that's doing that. Front left door, front right door, right front fender. I mean, those parts don't exist for this car. Radiator fan and housing fan, it's just a question mark, but it's already... I mean, we put a brand new one in there, so it's fine. I don't think we can get this one up to perfect condition, but it does look really sharp. Let's send this off to the paint bay. And we'll get it all done up with a nice livery, and then we'll take it up for a spin and see how it goes. I feel like I might be cheating a little bit if I sell this car, because that's a crazy return on investment. $140,000 I spent at the junkyard to buy this thing, and I could sell it for $800 and some odd thousand. That's crazy. But I guess at this point, I'm really just rebuilding things anyway, so I don't know that it necessarily matters. But let's set it to the current color. Paint. I didn't mean to do that. All right, so here are the livery options. We got French Toast, which I'm not really super interested in. The Mountain Dew, I think, looks really cool. Or Napa by French Toast. Oh wait, actually, so French Toast, I think, is French Toast is the person who did the liveries. So we have the Napa or the KBB. Or the Mountain Dew. I think I'm going to go with the Mountain Dew. Because that one I think looks pretty cool. Just paid extra to have that done. Ugh. Look at that. It's all finished and looking really nice, aside from the wheels. Try not to look at the rubber too much. It'd be nice if there was actually a point that I could get some decent tires to put on this thing. I feel like that would be the way to go. Now, what is this on the top here? Oh, those are the pieces that are missing. Front left door. Like little flap pieces. Front right door. Now I'm going to have to paint it again because, darn it. These pieces didn't get done. They're like flat black. Paint shop. Set current. Paint car. Oh, there goes the livery. Oh, yeah. I've grossly overspent on the paint job for this car. It's clicking like crazy. All right, so that is looking really sharp now. Nice. And what does that do for the condition now? So global body's at 95, global parts at 98, frame condition 100, interior condition 100. So global parts. Still not seeing any other parts in here that might present an issue. Just the tires, but the tires should be part of the body condition, I think, not the parts condition. There's got to be something in here that's not 100%. All I think of is the radiator fan housing, or this right front fender, which I don't know what part that would be. What do they consider the right front fender on this mod? Is it the left window covering? Or right window covering, rather? No, it's not that. I can't see anything here that piece would be. So I'm not sure. It may not be able to get right to, like a perfect state. But that's okay, because it really looks awesome. I want to go take this thing for a spin now. Send this out by the front door, and then we'll try it out on the track. Look at that. When you're sitting in the seat in here with all the protective pieces around, you really can't see anything. That is crazy. Let's get to an exterior view. That looks really nice, though. I love how that turned out. That's a really nicely done mod. And the delivery they did for it looks great. All right, let's take this thing for a spin. See how these worn-out tires work out. So just ram it into the wall. Listen to the thumping as you go around corners. That's crazy. Come on. Come on. No. Oh, it's caught a little bit of air. Actually, with the slicks, it handles pretty nicely. No, 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 no. As I say that, I spin all over the place. This car is not made for sliding around corners. There we go. Nice. Oh, just wiped it. All right, go, buddy, go. Let's see if we can fish it around this corner. Oh, it's too sharp. Got more traction there than I thought I would. All right, we're on the straightaway. Let's see what we get this thing up to now. That's the max speed on it. Oh, it's so clunky. Only in 4th gear, we're clearing 200 kilometers an hour. This is going to be a bad corner right here. Oh, into the grass, off the wall. It's a good thing I can't wreck the car, so this thing would be a hot mess already. Alright, that's a complete failure. I have not been able to jump this thing out of the track at all. Nevertheless, it turned out really sharp, and actually, I kind of like how it handles too, but if you want to try out this mod yourself, it comes as a 3-pack with 2 other cars, the Ford Fusion and the Toyota Camry. Again, it's by DeadBob777. You can find it on the modding discussion for this game on Steam. And I think the delivery said they were done by French Toast, I believe it was. So go check this out if you want to give it a whirl. It's actually really, really nicely done. Everything I've seen so far that DeadBob has put together has looked great. So this is no exception, certainly. But thanks everyone for checking out the video. I do hope you enjoy these and you come and check out some more. If you're not currently subscribed to the channel, then click on that subscribe button. You'll get notices for any live streams or videos that I'm putting out. I'm, as always, CrypticFox. I'll see all of you next time.